Today's a WRAL weather alert day. We could see scattered strong evening storms and a very hot afternoon. I'll show you the timeline for this evening's storms.
Water main break. A major road in Zebulon is closed even after crews restored water service. The timeline for when DOT hopes to have that road back open.
More data center drama. Today, another county in our area is considering a pause on new development. The latest decision on a topic that is dividing many communities.
Those stories and others as we are getting your Monday morning started on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Now, we should stay dry for much of the day, but meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking our rain chances. A lot of this will come later in the day, right, Elizabeth?
Absolutely. So late afternoon, evening thunderstorms is what makes this a WRAL Weather Alert Day. This is a look at our next weather maker, which did produce some severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings overnight as it came out of Illinois and into Kentucky. Everything's quieted down for now, and this does not look like a tornado threat for us. We'll roll through Futurecast at 5 o'clock. We're fairly dry, but between 6 and 7, we start to see the thunderstorms rolling through, and a few of these could produce some wind damage. It's likely to move out of the viewing area by the time we get into the wee hours of the morning tomorrow. We do have a level 1 risk in our eastern counties, and from the Triangle area west, it's a level 2 risk. That just means that some scattered storms could produce some damaging winds, and that would be our biggest threat. It's a warm and sticky start this morning as we take a look from the Weld Apartments in downtown Raleigh. 71 is the dew point, and 75 is the temperature, so it is sticky out there. A hot afternoon in store with temperatures in the upper 90s, and we have more chances for rain in the forecast. I'll show you how much we can see through this week. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to stay on top of that breaking news out of Zebulon. That crash on Highway 64 westbound has cleared. Let's get to WRAL's Kirsten Clark on the scene to recap what happened. Kirsten.
Yes, Ken, as you mentioned, we're here on the eastbound side of Highway 64. That westbound side is cleared, but that black pickup truck that we've been showing you all morning is still over there. Fire trucks have since left the scene, as well as a tow truck that was here, still working to learn why they left, maybe having an issue getting that truck out of the tree line there. But I want you to take a look at this video showing the scene when the WRAL breaking news tracker first arrived. You can see that same black pickup truck upside down, well into the trees. And we saw multiple ambulances come and go from the scene as firefighters look to be extracting people from that truck. State Highway Patrol was also on scene investigating. So at this time, we're still working to learn more information about what led up to this crash, how many people were in that truck, and the extent of any injuries. Ken, I'm going to send it back to you now to tell people more about if they do want to go around this area in case crews do return to this scene.
Yeah, the good news is that that all lanes of that westbound side are open, and if there's an option for anybody to take an alternate route, it would be Highway 7, Gannon Avenue, I should say, Highway 97 as an alternate route. But then there's another issue that we'll tell you about shortly. But right now, all the lanes, all the major routes heading into Raleigh are delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And that other issue that Ken just referenced, part of West Gannon Avenue in Zebulon, is closed this morning because of a water main break. The break happened Saturday night between San Patty Street and Pineview Drive. And with the help of the city of Raleigh, water services have been restored to all affected areas. The DOT hopes to get the road back open by Wednesday. A detour is in place, so if you are driving that way or you need to go through that way, you'll need to take Worth Hinton Road, Green Pace Road, and Water Plant Road to get around that road closure.
I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center, staying on top of that story out of London where British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced he will resign. That announcement coming today, and we're hearing from him this morning. He says that this announcement comes, of course, after his party questioned whether or not he would be the best leader to lead them into the next general election. He describes the next steps. Take a listen.
I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party to set out a timetable with nominations opening on the 9th of July and completed by the summer recess. In the case of a contest, this will ensure a new leader is in place before Parliament returns in September.
Now, calls for Starmer to resign have intensified since May, of course, after he led his party to the worst ever performance in the local and regional elections. He says that he made this decision with the intent, of course, to put his country first. And he says, as you just heard in that soundbite, that he will cooperate with the next steps. The next prime minister will be the country's 7th in a decade.
7th in 10 years. Goodness. Okay, thank you for tracking that for us, Laura. A Fayetteville mother is facing involuntary manslaughter charges because of a high-speed crash that killed 3 children. Investigators say 31-year-old Megan Scott was driving recklessly on June 3rd when this happened. They say she was speeding beyond 110 miles per hour before crashing into a tree on Cedar Creek Road in Fayetteville. Court documents reveal that Scott took off during a traffic stop and then struck 2 officers. She then ran her car, off the road and then into a tree. According to Highway Patrol, the 3 children did not have seatbelts on. 2 died on scene and the 3rd died at the hospital. A family GoFundMe and court documents identify the boys as 3-year-old Jakota Thomas, 6-year-old Jamari Thomas, and 8-year-old Jack Thomas. Scott is being held without bond, and she is scheduled to appear in court again July 7th. Officers responded to a stabbing at the Comfort Inn off Waketown Drive in Raleigh. This was just before noon. Investigators say the victim was stabbed in the arms and the legs, and that person was taken to the hospital and is expected to live. At last check, though, no arrests have been made.
A decision on proposed pay raises for Zebulon leaders could come as early as today. This comes as the town faces a $2.4 million budget gap. The town will host a public hearing on the budget tonight, and the board could take a vote afterward. Now, if the budget is approved, Mayor Jessica Harrison would receive a $5,000 pay raise, and commissioners would see their pay nearly double to $16,000 a year. As the town of Zebulon deals with budget problems, people we spoke with are unsure of what's next.
Why would you think about rewarding yourselves for these financial difficulties that you've put the town in?
Zebulon's town manager says the pay raises are needed to account for the time spent in office and changes in cost of living. To close the budget gap, officials are returning millions of dollars tied to inactive or delayed capital projects to the town savings fund. They are also discussing cuts to parades, retreats, and travel expenses and other programming. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 p.m. Today, another county in our area is considering a pause on data centers.
And WRAL has covered the many towns and counties that have placed moratoriums on that kind of development. Let's bring in Monica Casey. She joins us live from Durham this morning on that story. Monica, county commissioners there, they're going to be discussing a new moratorium today.
That's right. They meet here behind me at 7 o'clock tonight to discuss a 12-month moratorium. The county already has a 60-day moratorium in place, but that would expire in July. Now, the agenda item says the goal of this would be to give the local government time to develop appropriate regulations for certain land use. This issue goes far beyond Durham. Wake, Chatham, and Orange counties, along with Fayetteville, all have moratoriums already. Most recently, the town of Holly Springs implemented a moratorium too. A main concern with data centers is their use of water. Some residents also have concerns about noise pollution that they say could hurt their property values. Now, the city of Durham also has a moratorium in place. Theirs was initially for 60 days and has already been extended to that 12-month period. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
President Donald Trump says the U.S. could resume bombing in Iran and take over the Strait of Hormuz, and that is if the fragile peace deal between the nations cannot be finalized. The deal already appears to be in jeopardy because of Israeli strikes on Lebanon. Plus, Iran has threatened ships in the Strait of Hormuz. But Vice President J.D. Vance says, quote, great progress is being made, and negotiators have agreed on a roadmap to a final deal within the next 60 days. Vance says President Trump is committed to peace here.
Peace is never easy. Peace always requires a little bit of work. It always requires a little bit of give and take. But the President of the United States is committed not just to peace between the United States and Iran. The President is committed to a regional peace, which is why we're here working so hard to settle our issues.
Oil prices went up yesterday after President Trump's threat to attack Iran again. Time on the clock is 6:09 this Monday morning. Reflecting pool repairs. Visitors have seen algae and floating paint at the D.C. landmark over the last week. Hear what the president says may need to happen to get it fixed.
Pandemonium. The Stanley Cup celebration continues, where one Hurricane star had people waiting in line for hours over the weekend.
Today is a WRAL weather alert day. We have the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late today. I'll walk you through the timeline and show you what to expect.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13 today is a WRAL weather alert day. I'm tracking this cold front that overnight last night did produce some severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. And of course, there was a deadly tornado up in Illinois as it dropped southward. We're not likely to see tornadoes here today. This is the timeline for the rain. It should be dry for much of the evening commute, maybe the latter half of the evening commute, and then on through dinner time up until the wee hours of tomorrow morning. It's a level 1 risk in our eastern counties and everybody else in a level 2 risk. It means that we'll have scattered storms that could produce some wind damage as we head through the evening. Right now, it looks beautiful here at RDU. You can see that pretty glow of the sunrise. Temperatures are warm. We're in the low to mid 70s almost everywhere this morning, and it's sticky. That humidity is really high. We climb up to 90 by lunchtime and high of 97, so hotter than it was yesterday. I'll show you what it will feel like with the heat index coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, weather traffic every 10 minutes. Boy, traffic beginning to pick up on that southern loop of the Beltline as we take a live look at I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning, moving at a nice steady clip, actually. So we're not picking up any delays whatsoever on that southern loop of the Beltline. Also, if you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline. And if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, it's all delay-free. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Tonight, the UNC Tar Heels are looking to bring home their first College World Series championship. UNC was facing elimination yesterday after losing Game 1 to Oklahoma. They pulled off the 6-2 win in Game 2 to force a third and deciding game tonight. This is the Heels' third time ever in the championship series and the first since 2007. First pitch for tonight's game is at 7 p.m.
Durham police are asking for witnesses to come forward after a deadly crash yesterday morning. That crash happened on North Roxborough Street near East Maynard Avenue. Police say 33-year-old Nerlin Ayala Lindo crossed the center line and then crashed into a pickup truck. Ayala Lindo died at that scene.
We are also trying to learn more about this crash that shut down part of I-85 yesterday. It happened near the interchange with the Durham Freeway. Police had the ramp closed as crews responded to the scene. Police have yet to release information about whether anyone was hurt.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency after a massive fire at a cold storage facility in L.A. You can see the heavy smoke billowing, plus the site of all the damage. And this fire has been burning since Wednesday in L.A. It's since been contained to half of the nearly 500,000 square foot facility. And this warehouse was actually storing around 85 million pounds of frozen foods. Authorities are concerned, though, the decaying foods could create a biohazard and smoke from the fire affecting air quality. State and local agencies are now preparing millions of N95 masks and air purifiers. Temporary evacuation shelters have also been made available.
President Trump says workers will likely have to drain the reflecting pool near the Lincoln Memorial for repairs. Over the weekend, the president says vandals damaged the pool. He did not provide any evidence for that claim. Trump administration officials say multiple arrests have been made. President Trump ordered the pool to be cleaned and the bottom painted blue to help mark America's 250th birthday. Since then, crews have been trying to remove algae from the pool, and some of the blue paint has peeled off the bottom of the pool.
Well, it was a Stanley Cup party over the weekend, and it did not stop after the big championship parade on Saturday. Those fans were there to celebrate the Hurricanes' first championship since 2006. WRAL was there on the ground and in the sky as the parade made its way down Hillsborough and Fayetteville streets, and the team signed autographs along the way. Plus, there was a party afterward that happened in Glenwood South. Now, Seth Jarvis actually spent part of his yesterday connecting with fans in Cary. He signed autographs at Dick's Sporting Goods as Caniacs lined up to meet him. And for fans, it was just another chance to celebrate the Hurricane Stanley Cup championship with one of the team stars.
It was really cool being able to come in here and still see him and stuff and be able to take pictures, so that was super fun. And I just think being around people and like seeing like we all have this shared interest was so really fun.
I heard people drove like 6-9 hours down here just to like see him, so they were camping out early.
And that appearance was just one of several celebrations around the Triangle this past weekend. You can relive every minute of our celebration coverage on WRAL.com.
Now that the confetti has fallen, the Canes are looking to defend their Stanley Cup championship next year and avoid what happened after their 2006 title. After the Canes won the Cup in 2006, they failed to make the playoffs that next year and 11 of the next 12 seasons. This year's Canes don't expect that to happen. These Hurricanes are far better positioned to hoist the cup again. Find out what changes could be on the horizon in our in-depth story at WRAL.com.
Yeah, a lot of people still living off the hype from Saturday's parade, though. Okay, swinging over to our weather forecast today. Obviously, we've had the show open that says that it's a WRAL Weather Alert Day. Elizabeth is here to kind of walk you through that.
That's right. So it's about the showers and thunderstorms that we'll see this evening. Some of those could produce some wind damage. It's also going to be a hot day, but we're going to be just under heat advisory criteria. So I'm tracking a cold front that'll arrive this evening, and wind damage will be our biggest threat. It has a history of producing tornadoes, a deadly tornado actually in southern Illinois, and you can see it continues to slide eastward with a lot of thunderstorms right now in Nashville. Again, we're not expecting a tornado threat here, but let's walk through the timeline. This afternoon, we're pretty quiet. We're not likely to see showers and thunderstorms developing until much later. At 5 o'clock, some of those show up to our north and west, but hopefully everybody will get home before we get into this line of storms. It's likely to be closer to 7 or 8 as it moves across the triangle, and then between, say, 10 and midnight, it starts to exit eastward out of our viewing area. It is a level 1 risk from the from Fayetteville and Wilson eastward. That's where maybe a few storms could become severe with wind damage. And then the yellow shaded area from the triangle westward means that that's where we'd have an even better chance of some wind damage. Let's check out Futurecast for tomorrow. We're going to have that front kind of lingering and gradually moving eastward. Could be an isolated shower during the morning commute, and a few storms could pop up tomorrow. This version of Futurecast shows most of that along and east of I-95. It's not out of the question that we would see some of those a little farther west, but again, that version of Futurecast not as excited about showing us those storms. But definitely this evening, a good chance for storms, and then another chance of rain both Thursday, Friday, as well as Saturday and Sunday. So we have some good chances for rain as a front comes and stalls over us. Some scattered afternoon storms Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Our forecast rainfall, though, between now and the weekend is only a half an inch. We need as much as 15 inches to get us out of the drought. Temperature will be an issue for us today, too. 97, it'll feel more like 102 to 104. 105 would put us under a heat advisory, but the temperatures stay hot well into the weekend. We're back to around 97 on Saturday. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now, we are getting reports of first responders working a crash on Highway 64 in those westbound lanes coming in out of the Zebulon. This is right near Arundel Avenue. Right now, we're not picking up any delays in those westbound lanes, but I'll keep an eye on it and let you know if that's going to affect your morning commute moving forward. But as far as other routes heading into Raleigh right now, we're just picking up a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest and US 1, and also a 1-minute delay on Highway 97, Interstate 87, I should say, coming in from Nidale, but all the other major routes are delay-free at this hour.
Prime Day scams. It's a big week for online shopping. 5 on your side shows you what to look out for when you're making your purchases.
Plus, rooting for Team USA. Elmo is picking his favorite World Cup team, while the beloved Sesame Street character is clearly stating his allegiances for the tournament.
If you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, please report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team.
Getting you a look right now, a live look over Beaufort this morning. Actually, it's a pretty good time to go out there. You got a boat on the water, got the clouds moving on by. Just a reminder, today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day for later in the day. All right, so we're talking about thousands of people who were at Stonehenge yesterday to celebrate the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. And organizers say around 20,000 people were at the monument to watch the sunrise. People danced, they sang, and they even touched the monument. And if you didn't know, that's not usually allowed during the regular visiting hours. Stonehenge is believed to have been constructed between 3000 and 2000 BC, and it is famous for its alignment with the movement of the sun.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
So where is Taylor Swift getting married? And Elmo's picking his favorite World Cup team.
Yeah, Ken Smith is here to talk about it this morning. What's trending?
So let's start there with Taylor Swift, right? Rumors swirling about her and Travis Kelce's wedding. Over the weekend, crews put up a large tent near the singer's mansion in Westerly, Rhode Island. Some of Swift's friends were reportedly in the area last week, and speculation is that was a dress rehearsal for the big day.
Wild speculation. There are reports of a wedding taking place at a hotel in the area, but not one involving Swift or Kelce. Police in Westerly say they are not preparing for anything that would draw a large crowd or VIP guests to the area. That's what they're saying.
They were just minding their business. That's what was going on in that tent.
They probably all signed some NDAs, too.
And you know that wedding is going to draw a large crowd.
Oh, easily.
100%. Well, Elmo's making his allegiances known for the FIFA World Cup happening now. He's rooting for Team USA. Now, this comes after he ruffled some feathers during the NBA Finals. See, the Sesame Street native posted on social media he hoped both teams have fun. While some New Yorkers took issue with him not rooting for his hometown New York Knicks.
Oh, I love a good meme. There are a lot of memes after this were made, but let's just a reminder that it's a children's show character. So don't get too serious, but people definitely got serious about it.
I didn't even know Elmo was from New York.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
We're learning new things today, and Sesame Street's all about learning.
Ken, thanks. A busy day of FIFA World Cup soccer today on Fox 50. Argentina plays Austria at 1 p.m. Then at 5 p.m., it is France against Iraq. At 8, it will be Norway versus Senegal. The tournament will run through July 19th.
Your time this Monday morning is 6:27. Water main break. A busy Zebulon Road will be closed for the first half of the work week. What you need to know to get around this.
Data center debate. Another county in our area is considering a moratorium. Where things stand after weeks of discussion between residents and county leaders.
And today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. I'm tracking this front that has a history of producing severe storms. I'll show you what time that arrives here today and what we'll see.